A legacy of power introducing Niccolò Machiavelli. A name that echoes through the corridors of history, synonymous with political cunning and strategic brilliance. Niccolò Machiavelli. The name resonates through history, evoking images of power, strategy, and sometimes ruthless pragmatism. He is a figure shrouded in both admiration and controversy. Some see him as a visionary, others as a symbol of political manipulation, a master strategist, a cunning political mind. His insights into power dynamics remain relevant even today. But who was the man behind the infamous The Prince? What shaped his thoughts and philosophies? Machiavelli was born in 1469 in Florence, Italy, a city that was the epicenter of the Renaissance. This was the heart of the Renaissance, a time of immense cultural and intellectual change. Art, science, and philosophy were flourishing. It was a world where power was constantly shifting. Alliances were made and broken, and the political landscape was ever-changing. Machiavelli, a keen observer, absorbed it all. He watched the rise and fall of leaders, the ebb and flow of power. He learned the delicate dance of diplomacy, the art of negotiation, and the importance of timing. He witnessed the brutal realities of political life, the betrayals, the wars, and the constant struggle for dominance. His experiences would shape his thinking. Every event, every interaction added to his understanding of power and politics. He would go on to pen The Prince, a book that would become a cornerstone of political philosophy. This small book would become one of the most influential works on political philosophy ever written. Its teachings are still studied and debated today. It would cement Machiavelli's place in history. His name would forever be associated with the intricate dance of power. Join us as we journey back in time to a world of intrigue, ambition, and intellectual fervor. We will explore the life and times of Niccolò Machiavelli. From his early days in Florence to his rise as a political thinker, we will delve into the world that shaped his ideas, the vibrant, tumultuous world of Renaissance Italy, and we will uncover the man behind the myth, the real Niccolò Machiavelli, beyond the legend and the lore. The cradle of Renaissance, Machiavelli's Florence. Florence in the late 15th century was a city buzzing with life. It was a center of art, commerce, and intrigue. The Medici family, wealthy bankers, held significant power. They were patrons of the arts and influential political players. Machiavelli's family, while not wealthy, were respected citizens. They ensured he received a good education. Young Niccolò devoured the classics. He studied history, philosophy, and literature. He developed a sharp intellect and a keen understanding of human nature. Florence was not just a city of beauty, it was also a hotbed of political rivalry. Factions vied for control. Alliances shifted constantly. Betrayal was commonplace. Machiavelli witnessed this firsthand. It would leave an indelible mark on his understanding of power. These formative years in Florence would shape Machiavelli's worldview. He saw that power was not always wielded with virtue. He learned that survival often required pragmatism and a willingness to make tough choices. Diplomatic maneuvers, forging a statesman. At the age of 29, Machiavelli entered Florentine politics. He served as a diplomat and government official. His role was to navigate the treacherous waters of Italian politics. He interacted with powerful figures like Cesare Borgia, the ruthless son of Pope Alexander VI. Machiavelli's diplomatic missions took him across Italy and beyond. He observed different rulers and their methods. He saw the effectiveness of both diplomacy and force. He learned the importance of understanding one's enemies and allies alike. His experiences honed his political acumen. He became known for his sharp mind and his ability to analyze complex situations. He was a shrewd observer of human behavior. He understood the motivations and desires that drove people to action. Machiavelli's time in government provided him with invaluable insights. He saw firsthand the inner workings of power. He learned the art of negotiation, the importance of strategy, and the ever-present danger of political maneuvering. Section 4. Fall from Grace, Exile, and the Birth of a Masterpiece. In 1512, Machiavelli's world changed dramatically. The political landscape of Florence was in turmoil, and the winds of change were blowing fiercely. The Medici family, who had been exiled from Florence, returned to power. Their return marked a significant shift in the city's governance and power dynamics. Machiavelli, associated with the previous regime, was accused of conspiracy. His close ties with the former rulers made him a target for the new Medici administration. He was imprisoned and tortured. The methods used were brutal, reflecting the harsh realities of political retribution during the Renaissance. Although eventually released, Machiavelli was forced into exile. This exile was not just a physical displacement but also a profound personal and professional setback. He retreated to his estate outside Florence. This estate, nestled in the serene countryside, became his refuge from the political chaos of the city. It was during this period of isolation that he penned his most famous work, The Prince. The quiet and solitude of his estate provided the perfect environment for deep reflection and writing. Cut off from political life, Machiavelli reflected on his experiences. He delved into the intricacies of power, leadership, and human nature. He analyzed the rise and fall of rulers. His observations were not just limited to Florence but extended to the broader political landscape of Renaissance Italy. He sought to understand the principles of power. His goal was to distill these principles into a coherent and practical guide. The Prince was his attempt to distill this knowledge into a practical guide for aspiring leaders. It was a groundbreaking work that offered a realistic, if sometimes cynical, view of political leadership. Exile, though a bitter pill, provided Machiavelli with the time and space to write. It was a period of intense intellectual activity and creativity. It allowed him to analyze his experiences with a detached clarity. This detachment was crucial in allowing him to see the broader patterns and principles at play. It was in the quiet solitude of his estate that his most influential ideas took shape. The Prince remains a testament to the enduring power of reflection and intellectual rigor in the face of adversity. Section 5. The Prince Unveiled. A Handbook for Power. This section delves into the timeless wisdom encapsulated in Niccolò Machiavelli's seminal work, The Prince, a book that has intrigued and influenced political thought for centuries. The Prince is a short, powerful treatise. Despite its brevity, it packs a punch with its incisive analysis and unapologetic approach to the mechanics of power. It is a departure from traditional works on politics. Unlike the idealistic and often moralistic treatises of his predecessors, Machiavelli's work is grounded in the harsh realities of political life. Machiavelli eschews abstract ideals and moral pronouncements. He dismisses the notion that rulers should always act in accordance with conventional morality. Instead, he focuses on the practical realities of acquiring and maintaining power. His advice is stark and unvarnished, aimed at those who seek to navigate the treacherous waters of political leadership. He argues that a ruler must be willing to do whatever it takes to secure his state. This includes actions that might be deemed ruthless or unscrupulous by conventional standards. He must be both a lion and a fox, strong and cunning. The lion represents brute strength and the ability to confront enemies head-on, while the fox symbolizes cunning and the ability to outwit adversaries. Machiavelli stresses the importance of appearances. He understands that perception can be as powerful as reality in the realm of politics. He believes that a ruler must project an image of strength and virtue, even if he does not possess these qualities in private. This facade is crucial for maintaining authority and respect among subjects and rivals alike. The Prince is full of memorable passages. Each page offers insights that are as relevant today as they were in the Renaissance. Machiavelli's writing is direct and engaging. His prose is clear and unambiguous, making his arguments accessible to a wide audience. He uses historical examples to illustrate his points. These examples serve to ground his theories in real-world events and figures, lending credibility to his arguments. He cites figures like Cesare Borgia and Pope Alexander VI as examples of rulers who understood the ruthless nature of power. These individuals exemplify the qualities Machiavelli deems necessary for effective leadership. The book is not a celebration of cruelty. Rather, it is a pragmatic analysis of power in a dangerous world. Machiavelli does not advocate for unnecessary violence or cruelty, but acknowledges that harsh measures may sometimes be necessary. It is a pragmatic analysis of power in a dangerous world. The political landscape of Machiavelli's time was fraught with peril, and his advice reflects the need for vigilance and adaptability. Machiavelli believed that rulers had a responsibility to protect their states and ensure order. This responsibility often required making difficult and sometimes morally ambiguous decisions. He argued that sometimes this required making difficult choices. These choices, while harsh, were necessary for the greater good of the state and its people. Machiavelli's work remains a cornerstone of political theory, offering timeless lessons on the complexities of leadership and power.